Good day, lords and ladies of the internet. I am your host, the Parafox Archangel, the English gentleman of the internet, and I welcome you all back to This is the Police, where we have a day to begin and probably a few bodies to release from the morgue now that we think about it. So, let's turn on our lovely string quartet. Unless the music has arrived from the catalogue. It does not. 2nd of October is when it arrives. I've got a few days to go until we get it. So, Percy, Floridor, let's go get you to go get those things. Right then. Now the great new question. What do I want the most from whatchamacallit? Do I want another detective? Maybe more cops? You know what? I think it's time for another SWAT upgrade. Ooh, that is very good sales for cocaine. I'll take it all myself, thank you. Drop trafficking report. Offender court. Glorious. Glorious. And now we eliminate the gang. And we got 35 grand for it. Magnificent! Mrs. Peterson claims that the dentist is breaking into her apartment. I hear him drilling through the lock. You have to hurry. It's a false call. It's absolutely a false call. So I'm sending the 3 least. Well, the two least and a reasonable person. Suspicious individual. An inebriated guest of the restaurant noticed that the kitchen chef, bears a striking resemblance to a dentist picture from the newspapers. We're gonna get a lot of these today, aren't we? What's this? Jack Boyd, there's a real war against the scumbags happening on the streets today. And it's a war we're slowly losing. I decided to open my own gun shop to help law-abiding citizens protect themselves from drug dealers and those. Today will be our grand opening. I sure could use a couple of brave soldiers who could lure in some customers by handing out flyers at the mall. And I won't stay in your den. I'll give you boys some toys that will surely be useful on the job. Oh! Together we'll clean the thief from our streets. Well, that sounds like something really good. So Percy and you know what, Purdy? You're a really powerful duo team. Breaking and entering. There weren't any holes in Peterson's door, only the neighbours out front doing repairs. Yeah, I thought as much. I'm gonna wait until tomorrow before I start investigating you. Because that way I get Beasley on the job. In fact, the cook's description does not match at all the fugitive maniacs. Oh geez, I had no idea. I would have never guessed. Harassment. Last show picture show. A tearful schoolgirl reported that a scary man with a face like on the news touched her shoulder during the show and said scary things in a strange language. Oh my god. The racism is blatant. Report this. Plus 80! Oh, magnificent, Percy! Boss, that was a very strange job for police officers, but oddly enough, we're very tired out and got a lot done. Plus, Mr. Hayes gave us some nice guns. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
910 in progress.
Attempted robbery. A homeless man is trying to rob a car. You know what? That's a real crime! A man who resembles a dentist came into the office for an interview. The frightened secretary whispered on the phone, "He's grinning at me like he wants to kill me. It's exactly like the photo in the newspapers." This is an absolute joke. The amount of false report. The man was not a serial killer, but a mild-mannered foreigner who was asking the girl to be quiet during the show. Yeah, I thought as much. Well, it's nice to see Purdy back up to 900, to about 800. The seller said that the homeless man grabbed the money from his till and quickly disappeared. Canvass the neighborhood. Well done, you two. You actually did something proper today. It was an innocent law student, and if he was smiling strangely, it was because he was nervous about the interview. Wow, I would have never guessed. A false alarm. You're getting there, Percy. You're getting there. There's apparently an achievement for getting you to 1,000, and by God, I'm gonna get you to 1,000. Anything happening today? Anything proper? Just homicide reports? Yeah, I can't do anything with that anyway because it's only got 3. Public indecency. Cemetery caretaker Harry Topton reports that a young couple is having intercourse among a number of very old tombstones, making... Okay. Floridor and Percy, why not? Off you go. That's probably the closest thing we're gonna get to something to happening today.
Officer on scene.
There are indeed a naked young couple laying among the tombstones. Shoot the criminals with a stun gun. Cough loudly. A young man jumps up quickly, shouts police, and turns tail. Run after the young man. Disturbance of the peace. Disturbance of the peace. Alright, I'm releasing you tomorrow. I am releasing you too. Because I swear I'm going to get new people coming in tomorrow.
Yeah, understood.
Ooh, what's going on
Thank
here?
you very much, Walt. Sorry again for waking you up. Give my regards to Jean. Okay, gotta run.
What's going on, Jack?
Hey, Martin, wait a minute.
Ooh, what do you need with Martin?
Martin, you still hang around with Bo Berenger?
Of course. In fact, he's my stepfather.
Great.
Oh.
Think he has a couple of men available? Today? Right now, in fact? There's something important I need taken care of.
Sure. Something you need help moving?
Not exactly. Here's the address. I need this house watched. All day and all night until I say stop. If anyone suspicious goes poking around, tie him up and bring him here. I'll pay double the usual rate. Or triple, whatever he needs. And nobody else knows about this, right?
Jack, they're more into looking after valuables, not houses.
What's the difference?
That's a good
Well,
question.
these guys probably wouldn't care anyway. Okay, Jack, no problem. I'll make the call. As for your retirement, I've been...
Let's focus on today, Martin. Now keep that house secure, all right?
Okay. I have a phone in the car. I'll call Bo right away.
I appreciate it, Martin. Believe me, I do.
Which house is it?
Hey, Jack.
Yeah?
Anything else I need to know about this?
No. Better you don't.
Is that Lana's house, your stepmother's house, or your house?
Hello?
I'm an addict.
Please, I don't want...
Listen to me, Lana. I really am an addict. For 20 years now, give or take. I've been lying to myself that I'm in control of the situation, and sometimes it really seems like I am, but sometimes in the more desperate moments, I become completely dependent on the pills. And it's just dumb luck that I haven't killed myself. Or someone else. More than a few times, I've come pretty close. I've been stoned while I'm driving, was even stoned once during a firefight. I've been on drugs while I made decisions where dozens of lives were on the line. When I'm overworked, I need the pills. That's my problem.
Well, that's being very honest of you, considering her job.
I always knew that if I admit my weakness, if I start talking about the problem publicly, if I go to rehab, then I'm already as good as retired. They'll take advantage of the scandal and get rid of me forever. It doesn't matter all the good work I'm trying to do at the police department. They'll just bury me.
Oh!
So I'm keeping my problem a secret, at least until I can retire. I have to. I know it's the right thing to do.
You're trying to relate to her.
You realize, Jack, this is the first time you ever called me?
What?
You called me this time. I thought you were just waiting for me to stop bugging you, but now you called me and you opened up, even though you didn't have to. Maybe you're stoned?
What? No, I'm not stoned right now.
Well, Jack, I guess you need me as much as I need you.
I need you more than you need me.
Now I know you're stoned.
You
I
were...
heard everything you said, Jack. I understood everything just fine. You don't need to say anything else.
Oh.
Right, exactly. Say no more.
Police overwhelmed by avalanche of false dentist leads. Yeah, that's very true. Police station desk sergeant, the dentist spreading panic among citizens. Freeburg residents jumping at shadows. Yeah, these are very accurate, very, very accurate headlines. Beasley didn't come to work today. Come again? My kid's been causing trouble again, and they've called me into his school. Can you give me some time to deal with this? How old are you? How old are you? How old is your kid? No. You know, I have just realized Beasley does not have a stripe. Like, this man outranks him, yet he's pathetic. Beasley, you need a goddamn stripe. Just because... yeah. Just because, yeah. Oh, great. Serial murder. Kazuma Yesel, off you go. 33-year-old Judith Pierce, former secretary of the mayor, was found brutally murdered in a motel room. City Hall request. You can now upgrade your SWAT. Cool. They'll work 3 times a day, please. You paid your snitch his weekly fee. $500. Oh, okay, if he's got a weekly fee. You know what? I feel like restarting the day until I get some absurd bastard to replace people with, you know? For the labor market. Because I can't do that. You will do, Markiplier. Sure, thank you very much. I'll hire myself a Markiplier. Who's he gonna work for? How about Shift B, where I've got less people? It should really be Shift A, looking at it, actually. Looking at these, you know, numbers. But, whatever. Now, Beasley. You're in charge of this. Homicide. Enzo Agosti was old school. A senior member in the Sand Mafia organization. Until his Cadillac exploded. He controlled a good piece of the Freeburg drug trade. Agosti was in the driver's seat and died on the spot. Huh. Alright. Do I want to hire Mr. Dennis Wolf as well? I mean, I do have space for the extra... detective, but... he's not that special. I'll leave it for now. I'll leave it for now until I'm ready to, you know, decide otherwise. Attempted murder, Desire Park. A woman claims that she was just in the park and the dentist was chasing her. I even heard the sound of a drill and his eyes flashed like wildfire. Aha. Serial murder, frames found. Just saw your press conference, Jack. You're looking good. I would never have guessed you're about to retire. Or die. That's a little on the nose. So we've got sellotape, rope, and handcuffs. And the evidence is a picture of someone that looks like they're dying near the church. Oh my god. Homicide. A sleazy looking man just burst into the temple shouting, "Come at it, you peace-loving, bold bastards," and wounded 2 attendants. An eyewitness contacted the police and got out of there as fast as he could. He says someone had already begun returning fire. Alright, well that sounds like a real crime. So let's send some people. So who have we got? Suburb. Atla Funeral Home. Magpie Publishing House. Lucifer in the Sky with Lizards Nightclub. Break a Leg Insurance Company. Jim Baton Bakery. Suspicious individual. A saleswoman noticed a strange man through the window carrying a drill. He looks just like that guy, the dentist from the news, at least from the back, and he's singing some wicked song. I'm afraid to go near him. Oh no. I do it for the sake of doing it. Could you be the funeral home? Corpse, shovel, putting people into the ground. You know what? Funeral home doesn't seem like a bad guess.
We've got a situation here.
In the center of the temple are two wounded monks, and there's a wounded old man moaning in the corner. He dropped his gun. Near the monks, there's a trail of blood stains leading to the left. Call for an ambulance. Inside the room is a small scruffy-looking man, muttering something about God. He is wounded, and next to him is a spent gun. Slowly step forward and move the gun away from the criminal. Well done, guys! You actually did a proper job today! They do happen occasionally! It was just an ordinary student. He was singing something from Metallica. I am not surprised. You have discovered evidence hidden by the dentist. I'm good at this. I don't think I've gotten it wrong. Alright, that looks like chains, given the picture. So far, it is yellow shirt with a baton and chains. There's some rowdy drunken brats at our restaurant. Let the police teach them some manners. Oh, off you go.
1111.
Drug sales. The guard at the city dump has eyes on a meeting between two gangs, apparently both from Eastern Europe. The leader of one of the gangs is trying out a pack of white powder. The guard can't see how many people are there, but he counted 4 cars. Ooh. I'm willing to take the SWAT to that, because that sounds like something that actually goddamn matters. You're gonna request reinforcements?
Officer.
Oh no! The gangs have already started shooting at each other, and haven't yet noticed the police presence. Some are behaving like madmen, firing in all directions. Shoot the guy with the automatic who is popping off towards the police position. Get on the loudspeaker and order them to cease fire. A wounded bandit is running towards the police position. With one hand, he's gripping his wounded leg, and with the other, he's holding a gun, which he points at everyone, one by one. The guy is obviously in panic, his pupils diluted, and he's shouting something in an incomprehensible language. Hold the man a gun, taser him.
1111.
Glorious. Glorious! Can we all still admire Beard?
910B in
Beard is
progress.
awesome. Robbery, Port Warehouse. An alarm went off in the warehouse that didn't see much use. Alright, I'll send 2 decent-looking guys then. Thanks to a tip from an informant, we've learned that a large shipment of imported alcohol, which was stolen yesterday from the port, is currently located at an abandoned house in the suburbs, where it's about to be split up and transferred to smaller sales points. There are at least 5 armed guards at the house. Right, okay. If that's the case, McMara, Evans, Beard, Vandal, and Protector. Get over there. 5 armed guards, 5 policemen. Professional policemen that know how to shoot their gun. Let me guess, this was a false report? The place is abandoned. Apparently there was a short in the alarm's electrical wiring. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Alright. This is 7 frames. Jesus, this is a long one. I might want to put some guys on that from the next shift. More serious than you thought. Alright. Doesn't look like there's anything else happening, so... Receiving stolen property. Excellent. Oh look! Alcohol! That was stolen. Let's get the mafia to sell it for me. Beasley looks like he needs a rest. Former secretary of the Mayor Rogers found brutally murdered. The dentist kills former secretary of Mayor Rogers. 33-year-old Judith Pierce becomes the third victim of the dentist. Always good signs. Always very good sign. So we've got Floridor, we've got Markiplier, and we've got Percy. I wonder if it's possible for me to get to the 2nd of October this episode, because I really want to hear that cello concerto. Suburb. An electronics shop owner, Henry Harker, reported that 2 young men were collecting computers in their garage and selling them without a registered sales license. This upstart with his fat friend are trying to destroy my business. They're making a cheap counterfeits and misleading potential customers. These fraudsters don't respect anything in the law. Well, let's send Markiplier and Percy. And you know what, Purdy? Because I like Purdy. Disorderly conduct. City Hall. A woman entered City Hall carrying a bastion. She proceeded to the restroom to fill it with hot water and took it to the front desk where she proceeded to wash her hair. The guard on duty called the police. Apparently the woman is protesting the fact that her home has been without hot water for 2 months and the city has failed to fix it in its promise to fix the problem. I mean, that's very fair. But still, Koichi, can you settle that for us? In the garage, they're doing some work that's making a lot of noise. No one answers the door. Forcefully knock on the door. There's a few students sitting in a jumble of computer circuit boards smoldering something. Let's go down to the police station to discuss what you're doing here. Yeah, there we go. Do I know anything about anyone's political views yet? I don't even know what it means by political views. Political views seems like a part of the game that isn't in the game yet. Disorderly conduct, offender caught. Well done. Not much else we can do. Reckless endangerment. City center. A passerby noticed a suspicious worker carrying a drill dangerously close to the roadway. Oh. He pulled his helmet down to cover his eyes, but I never forget a face. I knew right away I recognized him. It's the dentist, and he looks like he's about to jump out on the road and start drilling people right in their cars. Drug sale, last show, picture show. Movie house cashier E. Monty noticed a suspicious van, which seems to be some kind of shop. He's afraid that drug traffickers have moved in next door. You know what? That's a worthy thing to actually worry about. Give me that false alarm! The worker was repairing the road. He wasn't threatening everyone. Gee, I would have never guessed. These people are idiots.
412 in progress.
Assault, gas station. A trucker grew furious when he discovered a dead cockroach in his sandwich. He grabbed the waitress by her hair and beat her head on the table. The roadhouse hostess called the police. Hurry, soon he'll be coming for me. Alright, fine, but you can expect a health report with that as well. Like, that's your fault. The van is parked alone near the cinema. It looks empty. Walk up and quietly knock on the door. Someone started moving inside the van. Run to the driver's door, pull a gun, and order them to exit the vehicle immediately.
1111.
Well done, guys. Well done, especially you, Markiplier. You haven't been here very long, but you're already a master at what you do. Harassment, Eddie's Burgers. A woman is on the phone claiming that the person sitting at the table, the man was staring at his feet and carrying a work bag on his shoulder, which looked like the contours of a drill. I hate these people. Suspicious individual. Oh, a strange taxi driver brought me home one night and then stayed parked outside my house looking up at my windows. I'm afraid it's that maniac who likes to drill you at night. Please, come quickly. Oh, don't you worry, lady. We're getting calls like this all the time. It's not as if we're the police and we have other things to do with our time. I mean, I can't really arrest anyone for wasting our time at the moment, considering, you know, this is actually quite an important thing that's going on. Anyway, I have frames now. Let's see if I can do this. John Callis. Someone banged on my door, on the door, and my mother told me to hide under the bed and close my ears and eyes and be as quiet as a mouse. I only heard muffled screams. When I got out from under the bed, I found my mother in blood and called the police. The fatal blow was struck by a blunt object to the head. The killer was standing behind the victim. Death was immediate, and the body shows no other signs of violence. Ha. I heard Fiona swearing with her brother. He'd come round again begging for money at her doorstep. Then she started yelling at her son. He always sits there in front of the TV playing these stupid games until he turns blue. Then my phone rang and I talked with my friend for like half an hour. Ha. The door to the apartment was open when I came in. The boy was sitting in front of the TV, playing some game on the console. He didn't even turn in my direction. I think he was just in shock. His mother was lying dead right there in front of him. Mr. Aldray, the victim's brother. Yes, I went to my sister to borrow some money. I lost my job and the bills were piling up. I expected her to help, like I've helped her in the past, but she refused. But I didn't kill her. We had a fight and yelled at each other, and then I went home. I watched a movie I rented and went to bed. I'm not So that happens. That happens. That happens. The kid plays the thing. I don't think I have all the evidence. Or the complete right evidence. Or I'm just putting things in the wrong order, that's all. John Kalis, the victim's son, he killed his mother because she made him stop playing video games. Jesus hell. There's only one option, right? Yeah, there's only one option. Markiplier, Pursley, off you go. What about for this? You're fucking joking. Hey, look! They were joking! They didn't die! Why would they die? There we go. Let's now solve this little homicide. Or should I say patricide, as it is actually called. If a child kills their parent, it is patricide. You'd be surprised how many types of sides there are. There's geocide, side, other side, there's regicide. Basically, if it's a noun, there's probably a side for it. Well done, everyone. Subjects have been arrested, and let's end the day. Glorious! Drunken firefighter soaks pedestrians with hose. School bus crashes into candy store. Yeah. Christopher G. Sands Ice Arena hosts book fair. Isn't Sand dead? Or was it like his son or something? No, you can't come in tomorrow. You're doing an important investigation. Right then. The deadline is tomorrow. I'm not doing it! This man was an honest servant of the city. Today he was buried with military honors. Same with this guy. And then the mafia says, here's the alcohol sales. Well, that I can share with the staff. I don't care about that much. What's this? A homicide? Mindy Rise was returning from her work after midnight and came upon a male corpse lying in an alley near her home. I see. In that case, Moser, you're off the case. Why? Because you're doing this case instead.
9/11 in progress.
Theft! The well-known adult actress, Betty Belly, was caught shoplifting underwear. She's wearing the stolen items and refuses to remove them or pay. Then she's an idiot. We're sending Beard, because once she gets a load of that beard, she's just gonna fall to her knees and say, "Put the handcuffs on me, and then do with me as you please." The lady is behaving provocatively. "Officer, you want to take it off me yourself? Persuade the store manager that this can be solved amicably and arrange to meet Betty alone." Jesus, hell. I can't believe that's actually a scenario. Put her in handcuffs. You're very kind, but we'll have to go down to the station. Nah, put her in handcuffs.
911.
As I said, we'll put her in handcuffs. I actually said we'd do that. What happens afterwards, that's another thing, but... Jack, old friend, the police academy staff have come down with a stomach flu, and a huge influx of new recruits is coming in. We just don't have the manpower. Help an old friend out. Send me 5 smart guys who can organize everything and start up a program. Okay. I can do that. Vandal, Mitchell, Somali, O'Hara, and... Dixon. Off you go. Man, I've only got 5 people on stage right now. That's... I hope it's not for the entire day. It's probably for the entire day. Fraud! A priest just called in saying there's a woman right on the steps of the cathedral selling his parishioners golden tickets to paradise for $50 a pop. What terrible blasphemy. You must arrest this lost soul immediately. I agree. Wait a moment while I wait for Beard. There we go. Here's Mr. Beard. Homicide, suburb. A young gardener saw a young woman pushing her elderly wheelchair-bound husband into the deep end of the pool. Wow! Report. Chief, it was a Ooh, okay. Chief, it was just a crazy day, but we're glad to have a hand in shaping our future officers. To be honest, we all have a lot to learn, especially Somali and Vandal. They were awful. The captain even forced them to stay behind for retraining. Alright. Well, I mean, we just gained a couple of ranks at least. There's a woman standing on the steps of the cathedral. A long line of people are waiting to speak with her. Badge her and ask for a discount. Tell her the woman that Tell the woman that you need to get her to the station. The perp yells out police and throws the rest of the golden tickets into the crowd and runs away. The crowd of people are trying to grab more tickets and are hindering the police. In the name of the good Lord, stop. Preach! Preach, brethren! Attempted carjacking. An elderly woman reports 2 men in business suits circling a car in the parking lot, trying to get in. The woman repeated the conversation she heard. What do we do now, genius? Break the window? Yeah, that sounds like something we need to probably deal with. Massive fuck. Oh. Oh, okay, I can't just send the 3 people. Sweet! Massive fight. Unicorns, Arcadia, Alright, you. Mao Xiong was taking out the trash when she saw 4 men in expensive business suits knock on a neighbor apartment door and then go inside. One of them caught sight of Mrs. Snab. He approached her and politely asked her to forget everything, warning her that talkative people often have untimely accidents. Soon afterwards, the sound of screaming and muffled gunshots came from her neighbor's apartment. Right. One of the suspects turned out to be the owner's vehicle, who accidentally locked the keys inside. God damn it! Alright, well, let's look at these homicides then. Right. So, homicide. Mrs. Kuyok. Anya Kulyok, a maid in the Ostowski residence. Mr. Ostowski had breakfast as usual early in the morning, while his wife was asleep. he was going out on business, so he wished me a good day and left the house. A few seconds later, there was an explosion. Forensic examiner. The offender used plastic explosives. Traces we found on the car confirm it. The direction of the blast indicates that explosives were attached to the bottom of the car. Mr. Butler. Liam Butler, truck driver. Really? I thought he'd be the butler. I pass by that area every morning. I haul food from the farm to the city. The road is normally empty. Everyone's still asleep. But that morning, I almost ran over a guy wearing dark glasses. I remember he ran across the road. Thought maybe with those glasses he might be blind. He was carrying a girly bag. Alright, and nearly rushed right at my wheels. Ha! The camera is at an angle, so it can only see one side of the car parked out front. In the video, early in the morning, a shadow flashes for a brief moment past the Cadillac. Whoever it was, he knew about the camera and how to avoid it. George Mason, neighbor from across the street. That morning, I was mowing the lawn, and when I mow the lawn, I don't pay much attention to anything else. Even when the bomb went off, I thought at first it was a stone in the mower. But when a burning tire rolled past, I knew something was wrong. Serves him right, that Agoski. I'd have all the drug dealers with dynamite up their asses. Alright, so I have no idea what this is meant to be. So the guy ran away. We have a car. The guy walks up to the car. With that. He takes explosives out the bag. Wait, do these even classify as plastic explosives? Because that looks like dynamite. I think I gotta wait another day. And then we got this, in which we don't have anything else. Okay. Alright, the suspicious individual. Amara, Nordlander, and Beard. Off you go. And then as for the massive fight. A dozen men with shaved heads ambushed two men as they exited the gay bar. The club's bouncer intervened and the fight broke out. It quickly grew into a brawl involving the other patrons. Okay. Massive fight and everything good. As for the other one,
I was trying to raise 10-1, Sergeant.
we don't have whatchamacallit. Everything good. There we go, Beard. And then the Mafia can sell the cocaine, because, of course, that's what they do. I just realized, by taking out the Mafia, I'm going to lose a big source of income, aren't I? I'm not going to declare you dead yet. School textbook cost rises 50% this year. Weatherman predicts coldest temps in his city history. Municipal allocates $2 million for airport reconstruction. And everything likes me. There's gotta be something wrong with that. How does everything like me? Ah! Drac, you swore an oath to defend the city. I know! And I think my officers are perfect as they are for the job. 40-year Veronica Larson, manager at the Octopus restaurant, was found brutally murdered at her apartment. Mafia assignment, Victus Varga. Jack, we have something going down at the ghetto at 8 o'clock. We wouldn't want any policemen, so I think $6,000 should be enough for such a request. Don't you worry! I'm perfectly fine with that. Hopefully. Depending on what it is. $6,000's a lot.
410A in progress.
Alright then. Jack, your chances of catching me are melting away like an ice cream in a child's hand. Don't get the postcard dirty, it's limited edition. Okay. So it's an old family looking thing, is it? Okay, what the hell is that? Attempted murder. A patient complained that his dentist was drilling his teeth with such fury that the man had to escape and flee from the office. All the time he was wearing that mask that they wear, but I recognized his eyes. This is so dead to me. Freeburg High School, Freeburg Tribune Office, Diamond Dog State Penitentiary, Library, Pawn Shop, Wooden Horse Toy Shop. Wooden Horse! I'm good with that. Attempted murder.
11 in progress.
The census was simply doing his job. Yeah, I thought as much. Trespassing. An elderly woman just called in, saying there's some strangers trying to break her door down. Please hurry, they're scaring my cats. That could be viable, so I'll send Pursley. I am good at this. I am good at this. I am good at this. Yes, I am. Gloves, that means that's it. All the while, let's do what the thing needs to do. Actually, can we take a moment to look at these frames? First, we've got the pizza guy appearing. Then we've got, okay, this bit. If we ignore this bit and then just go to the fact that she's bound, and then she's got a bit of strangling involved, yeah, there's promiscuous things that could be happening there in their stead. False alarm? The neighbors are pounding on the woman's door. It's a young couple exhausted by the yowling cat and the incredible stench. Yes, she has 50 cats in there. Ma'am, this is the police. Open the door. Your cats are not in danger. Several multicolored cats run from the apartment, and a male neighbor in rage is trying to trample them. Keep that up and I'll kick your tail. I don't know if we got the man for trying to create a disturbance, or whether we took the woman in for, you know, clear, utter animal abuse at that point. But whatever. Vehicular accident. A biker crashed into a car that was driving through an intersection against the lights. Eyewitnesses report that the driver was drunk or stoned. He exited the car, turned on some loud music, and began to dance next to the biker's bloody body. Floridor, kick some sense into this man. And take McCoy with you, because why the hell not? Vegetable shop. Suspicious individual. Oh, God. An old woman was out buying vegetables and saw by the exit a man who, in her words, is a splitting image of the dentist. Oh, no. Asano, Spain, I am so sorry that you are basically our cannon fodder to deal with all this crap. But you know what? It's one of those cases of, it could be real. So, we have to do it. Attempted carjacking. A passerby saw a hooded man trying unsuccessfully to open a car door in the parking lot. He was swearing loudly and nervously looking around. You know, I really think Percy needs another stripe, you know? Suspicious individual. The old woman that doesn't see very well. The man doesn't fit the dentist's description. Shocker! Drug sales. Okay. According to an anonymous tip, a big drug deal is about to go down in an abandoned house. There's a large shipment of heroin on the line. Also, all parties will likely be armed. The deal is supposed to happen on the 4th floor. And then the armed rob... Oh, Jesus, hell! A farmer just called in, and by the sound of his voice, he's clearly shaken. I saw my cows were gone, so I ran out into the field, yelling for them. But there were nowhere around. Then I looked up at the sky and saw a UFO hovering over the next field. It's aliens that stole my cows, and now they're taking my neighbors too. Well, at least I know which one of these is I'm actually sending people to. The man is still messing around with the car. He breaks the window out of the driver's door and climb inside. Pull out a taser and order the man to raise his hands and exit the car slowly. The man is reaching for something in his cover. Shoot him with the taser. We warned him, if you don't put your hands in the sky when we tell you to put your hands in the sky, we're gonna get bloody tasered. Also, I swear to God if this isn't a false alarm. Reckless endangerment. A young children's camp counselor named Roland Slayton reports that 2 young girls in creepy costumes and masks are frightening the children. They were already on edge, having read each other's horror stories, and now they've run off into the woods, but 2 dozen children are currently unaccounted for. The girls in scary suits are running around chasing them, and they're scaring everyone to death. They'll scare the children deep into the woods, and I'm afraid we'll never find them. Alright, that's bad. You're a false alarm. You can go screw yourself.
Looks like we have a situation here.
At the entrance to the building, there are 4 cars being watched by 2 guards. Arrest the 2 men, and climb up the fire escape.
1111.
Really? That's all I needed to do? Alright. Right, Purdy, Markiplier, Pursley, Asano, Spain, you go deal with the reckless endangerment. I swear if this is real. Oh, yeah! Fuck. Okay, so because we're meant to, you know, ignore the drug sales, I'm, you know, still very interested in whether this is a false alarm. It has to be a false alarm, right? They wouldn't have an event like actual aliens appearing in this game, right? You know, this is my favorite thing about working for Varga instead of Sans. Citizens don't die with Varga. He's not a killer, he's just a drug dealer. I say despite the fact we're investigating a homicide right now. That looks more reasonable. That does not look right. Ooh, what's the difference between... Oh, that's the main difference. It's the wrong color bag. How did I not notice that? There we go. Excellent. Andres Varga, Victus Varga's older brother and his right-hand man. Robbery! An overworked farmer mistook a bright-coloured kite for a UFO. The cows were peacefully munching on their hay in their stalls. The farmer's son had led them into the stables and forgot to tell his father. I'm not surprised. What do we have here? Corpse. His right hand had been severed and there's bruises behind the knees. There's 3 bullet holes in his chest and a blot of blood around the body. Okay. Mrs. Reyes, the waitress. I didn't recognize him at first, but it's my neighbor Edgar Sanchez. I often met him with a tough, dangerous-looking woman. They're always fighting loudly. I remember she was ugly, with a tattoo of an AK-47 on her neck. Okay. I woke up to heart-rending screams. When I got out of my box, everything was quiet. I only saw a man from behind. He had a gun in his belt, and he got into one of those expensive cars. He looked like a man, but he had long hair, so who knows about this prick? There's lots of those so-and-so hanging around. Hey! The other day I saw Edgar Sanchez arguing in the street with some weird guy in a hood with a cane. The guy poked Edgar in the stomach a couple of times with his cane, and I thought about calling the cop, but they shook hands and went their separate ways. Sanchez has always paid his rent on time, and in cash, though I don't think he had a job. I think he was into drugs and maybe something else illegal. Medical examiner. The hand was separated from the body while Edgar Sanchez was alive. The smooth edges of the wound indicate that it was inflicted in one swift motion. The bruises in the lopidal region were from a hard object, like a nightstick or a club. Apparently the culprit first forced the victim to the ground. Right, so... he moved into the alley with him. He hit him in the legs. He cut off his hand. He shot him. And then he got into a car. Boom. Easy. Job done. And then there's nothing really I can do for these because the officers aren't here today. Oh well. Or the detectives aren't on shift today. Good. Well done. Probably a little overkill sending that many policemen, but what can you do? Brutally murdered Veronica Larson, once favorite restaurant manager of Mayor Rogers. Dentist now hunting middle-aged women. 40-year-old woman, latest dentist victim. Yeah. I need to take my car to the shop. Can you spare me today? No, I'm afraid not. You're too tired. Yeah, you can go home. Right. One last day to end things off for us. With hopefully no false alarms all the time. Ha 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 ha. Income from the grave. Thanks. Killed. Snitch. You can shut up and go to hell. Thank you. As I said, you can go to hell. You know what, staff? Just to make sure you're happy, shut up. Take the cocaine money. I want an extra officer slot. This shift looking a little plain. Oh yeah, Wise Dragon Restaurant. Must send people here. Oh wait, I just remembered. This shift is only looking a little plain because some people are in school, aren't you? Because you're failures. Interministerial Committee is in charge of certifying select emergency personnel. Please send 2 of your most serious and reliable... Well, Dixon is serious, and Norlander looks pretty serious too. I should have asked people to work today. Homicide. Andres Viger has problems with his eyes, and he often visits the orthodontist. Or Vitus Marger has been the hand of many deaths, and he goes to confession afterwards. I highly doubt that. Drug possession, Chinatown. The police received an anonymous tip that the Dirty Harry dry cleaners is a front for a cocaine ring. You know what, Michael and Marajama, you go check that out. Meanwhile, Everts and Beard, they're going after the big man himself. The dry cleaners is empty, aside from an elderly woman dozing behind the counter. Wake her up and show her a search warrant. The Chinese woman wakes up, sees the cops and starts shouting, then pulls a shotgun from under the counter. Use a taser.
1111.
More cocaine. Time to sell it. I love how the biggest drug dealer in this city right now is the police. Excellent. I could arrest him now, but Victus is available. And I'm not sure if I want to do him yet. Suspicious individual. A priest believes that the dentist is sitting right there in one of his services. The heathen is just sitting there in the last row. I've got to go back on. Just hurry. No! No, I am fed up with these.
311B in progress.
Massive fight. A mature woman who came to the beach to swim with her 2 grandchildren lost her temper at the 2 girls who were sunbathing topless. The woman started with a number of nasty comments. That when they were ignored, the woman began to beat the girls with a switch, yelling, "Shameless, shameless." 2 men stood up for the nudists, and soon several others joined in. And then we got assault over here. A man came into Blackstone barbershop and presented a gift certificate for a haircut surprise. As specified on the certificate, he was blindfolded and trimmed. When the man saw what happened to his hair, he was enraged, smashed the mirror, and attacked one of the barbers. I'm just sending you 2. Then we're waiting for Everts and Beard. Alright, guys, let's see how many I have. I'm gonna send all 4. I've only got, like, 6 people on shift at the moment, so... It's not real. Shut up.
1210 complete.
The man who the priest believed to be was the dentist was just a regular parishioner, Mr. Saunders, who had simply changed his hairstyle. Exactly.
We've got a situation.
The man is
here.
threatening to cut the barber's throat with a shard of the mirror, unless he fixes his hair. Man, you don't look so bad. You should see my wife. Look, you've got bigger problems today than your haircut.
412A.
Yeah.
450
Yeah.
in progress.
Reckless endangerment. Oh, goody. Well, I can't do that until these 2 get home, so...
We've got a situation.
The crowd managed to calm down, but the nudists received a few bruises and they've refused to get dressed. Silently watch the naked women's breasts and Jesus, hell. Either cover your chest or we're going to the police station right now. Someone shouts from the crowd something about shame and sin, and the fight starts up again. Fire some warning shots into the air.
311B complete.
Illegal business activities. A suspicious woman is stopping cars on the road selling handmade wooden jewelry, decorated with glass and manure. The brooch collapsed right in my hands and the fraudster wouldn't give me a refund. How am I supposed to get my money back? Alright, what do we have here? 2 people? What is it? A construction worker involved in the restoration of a historical building got in over his head and the walls of the building began to crumble. Larger pieces are falling from the floors above, threatening the lives of passerbys. Witnesses reported that the construction worker quickly worked his way down by a rope, then threw his helmet to the ground and ran away. Right, illegal business activities. Right. Michael, Beard, off you go. Keep the 2 veterans just in case we need them. Suspicious individual. An intoxicated man carrying a hand drill was spotted on the... I don't care about these drills, damn it! Police impersonation. A young waitress at the cafe noticed a man dressed in in a police uniform who fit the description of the dentist. I don't think it was a gun in a holster. I think it was a drill. They've both got to be fake. Ooh, very nice. We can ask the Mafia to sell that. I'm leaving it. It has to be fake.
12.
Turned out to be a regular Freeburg PD employee. Yeah, no doubt. As for this guy, turned out to be a harmless drill salesman. He was drinking because he wasn't having much luck with his business on account of the dentist. People these days don't like strangers carrying drills poking around. And who's gonna feed my kids? The children? The journalists? Of course not. Well, everyone, well done on your work today. Massive day-long power outage in city centre. Bikers donate blood at Central Hospital. You know, bikers tend to be some of the best people. Elementary school students struck on Ferris wheel. Ooh, that's bad. Well, everyone, looks like I'm all out of time for today's episode, so what can I say other than thank you all for joining me today? I have been your host, the Parafox Archangel, the English gentleman of the internet, and I hope to see you all again next time. But I'm afraid that until then, it is time for me to bid thee all farewell, good day, and finally, good night.